Howdy, everyone. Welcome to Texas A&M Virtual Earth Month. So we have our second talk in our Sustainability Talk series today, and that is Miss Lauryn Perez. She'll be taking it away in a minute. So just a bit of logistical information. As Lauryn is talking today, if you have questions, and I really do hope you have some questions, put them in the chat, and I will collate those, and at the end, I will ask Lauryn any questions that are there. So please, if you think of any questions, please put them there. It will definitely give us a more robust experience. So basically, Lauryn's going to talk to us today about what the absence of humans has taught us in the midst of us dealing with COVID-19. And I guess I should also say that this Texas A&M Virtual Earth Month is in conjunction with TRACS, which is the Texas Regional Alliance for Campus Sustainability. Our university with other universities across the state are bringing you content all month. So please check that out. And you can see our full list at sustainability.tamu.edu. So with that, I will stop sharing my screen and Lauryn is going to take over. Lauryn, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Thanks, Ben. Okay, so like Ben said, my name is Lauryn Perez, and I'm going to be giving a presentation called A World Without Humans. And it's going to be over the positive environmental impacts from COVID-19 and what they have taught us about how we can live sustainably in the future. COVID-19 was first reported on December 31st, 2019, and was declared a public health emergency of international concern only 1 month later. Since then, it has been the source of panic across the globe and has changed life as we know it. Over the past few months, we have made many changes to the way that we live in order to protect ourselves from the virus. Only essential businesses are open. Most of us are working from home. People all around the world are practicing shelter in place, and travel restrictions are limiting our presence in the community. Because of these changes, we have seen a glimpse into what a world with minimal human impact would look like. Because we are sheltering in place, there has been a massive reduction in the number of cars on the road. Meteorologist Tawana Andrew has reported that at the beginning of 2020, emissions in China fell 25% as officials told the population to stay home. According to NASA scientists, the drop in nitrogen dioxide pollution was initially seen near Wuhan, but eventually spread across the entire country. According to the United States EPA, NO2 primarily gets into the air from the burning of fuel. It forms from emissions from cars, trucks and buses, power plants, and off-road equipment. Usually drops like these are seen across China around the Lunar New Year celebrations, since more people are staying home and not working. But the drops seen this year are 10% to 30% lower than what's usually observed around this time. Now we are going to take a look at some satellite evidence showing the nitrogen dioxide emissions over China.
Based on data from the Copernicus Sentinel-5P satellite, this animation shows the variation of nitrogen dioxide emissions from the 20th of December 2019 to the 16th of March 2020.
So as you can see at the beginning of the video, there were a lot of red and orange areas and yellow areas, indicating high levels of nitrogen dioxide. But as the video continued and the shelter-in-place policies have been enacted, you can see a pretty drastic decrease in those colors. But China is not the only country that we have seen these drops in. Satellite images have shown NO2 emissions dropping over northern Italy, the United Kingdom, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Spain as transportation has been brought to a halt.
Based on measurements gathered by the Copernicus Sentinel-5P satellite, this animation shows the fluctuation of nitrogen dioxide emissions over Europe. The reduction of emissions is particularly visible in northern Italy, which coincides with its nationwide lockdown to prevent the spread of the coronavirus.
Again, we can see areas of red and orange and even some of the light yellow colors start to disappear after implementation of the shelter-in-place policies. According to researchers at Lund University, transportation makes up 23% of global carbon emissions, while flying and driving respectively make up 11% and 72% of transportation's greenhouse gas emissions. So the shelter-in-place requirements are directly tied to the reduction in NO2 that we are seeing. Back on March 8th, Stanford University environmental resource economist Marshall Burke conducted research on the recent air pollution drop over parts of China and potential lives saved. He found that the 2 months of pollution reduction has probably saved the lives of 4,000 children under 5 and 73,000 adults over 70 in China. Additionally, there has been a reduction in boat transportation, which has led to improved water clarity. For example, in Venice, Italy, there haven't been any gondolas or motorized boats in the canals, and locals have seen instant improvement in the ecosystem. Normally, the constant boat traffic paired with the cruise ships cause the water and sediment to be in constant motion, which limits visibility. Since the traffic has stopped, now locals can see not just a clear view of the sandy bed, but schools of fish, crabs, and multicolored plant life. Cormorants, a type of duck, have returned to dive for fish that they can now see. We have heard from many locals that they are happy with the recent changes. Matteo Bissell, a restaurant owner, has been quoted saying, "People need to realize that if we control and cut down boat traffic in Venice and its lagoon, then we could all discover a unique biosphere." Gloria Bagatio, the Metropole Hotel owner, has said, "We Venetians have the feeling that nature has returned and is taking back possession of the city." Franco Fabri, an architect, has recalled, "When I was a kid growing up, there were far less boats in the canals, and lots of kids would jump in and go swimming." Gloria Bagatio, the Metropole Hotel owner, has also said, "I honestly believe we should take the opportunity of this lockdown to reflect and see how we can be more organized in the future to find a balance between the city and tourism." Animals have started to make appearances in other cities as well. In Great Orme Country Park in Conwy, Wales, goats have started to look for food in the town. Normally, the goats can be found in the hills surrounding the city, but with the heavy foot traffic gone, they have been seen walking around the town. In Sassari, Sardinia, wild boars that normally live in the mountains have come into the city only a few days after people began sheltering in place. In South Africa, people have spotted a pride of lions just sleeping in the middle of the road outside of a rest camp. In Nara, Japan, sika deer are wandering the silent streets and subway platforms. In London, people have seen red foxes, black bears in North Carolina and California, Maine, and Maryland. Peacocks have been seen perching on cars in Mumbai. Whales are in the usually busy waters off of Marseille. Coyotes in Chicago and San Francisco, mountain lions in Boulder, and everyone's favorite, a pizza-eating groundhog in Philadelphia. Here we can see a groundhog sitting outside of a home in Philadelphia while a couple of dogs stare at him. Most of the animals we have seen would have probably ran away once they saw dogs or humans, but not this one. Instead, he's sitting outside the window, eating his pizza, totally unfazed. It's almost as if he's taunting us with his ability to be outside at no consequence. The absence of humans has taught us how much of an impact we have on our natural environment and has shown us that we are capable of remediating these impacts. Just a few weeks of limited transportation has saved almost 80,000 lives in China, and that doesn't even include the lives saved in other places that haven't had the research done yet. A few days without over-tourism in crowded cities, and we have seen wildlife emerge from the shadows. All of these changes beg the question, what if? What if we could maintain this reduced level of air pollution? What if we didn't have to go into work every day and could work from home instead? What if seeing an animal besides a rat or a pigeon was not a rare occurrence? What if instead of living separate from the rest of the world, we could try to live with it? And if only a few days of staying at home could cause these kinds of changes, what else could be possible? Scientists say that how long the pandemic lasts will influence how long it takes for emissions to bounce back. Here we can see the NO2 levels resurfacing in China after reopening the country. Only long-term systematic shifts will change the trajectory of NO2 levels in the atmosphere. Any environmental impact that results from COVID-19 must therefore be in changing our lifestyle habits towards cleaner and greener. But COVID-19 has shown us that it is possible for the entire world to change the way that we live, and some cities have already started. Cities across the world have been making changes towards sustainable living. They are replacing highways with bike lanes, incorporating nature into the cityscape, and innovating sustainable alternatives to reduce pollution. All of these things not only benefit the environment, but they also benefit humans. Biking instead of driving reduces the amount of air pollution, while also improving health through physical activity. Incorporating nature into the cityscape invites a larger variety of plants and animals, while also causing improvements to mental health from the increased exposure to nature. Innovating sustainable alternatives reduces the impact we have on the environment, and in many cases, saves us money as well. Many cities have started investing in bike lanes. In Amsterdam, there are now more bikes than cars. In this photo, we can see a protected bike lane next to an almost empty street and dozens of bikes parked near the road. In Copenhagen, they have invested in having a bike highway that has helped lower car emissions and decrease the commuting time of travelers. In Japan, they have also built a bike highway. It was made above the forest to prevent any disturbance in the ecosystem, while also providing a great view for the riders. In Cape Town, South Africa, they have done something similar. The centenary tree canopy walkway is an example of how we can build infrastructure in nature and not disturb it. Here, people can walk through the forest and enjoy nature at almost no cost to the environment. An innovative sustainability idea has taken over Malmö, Sweden, the Green Roof Center. A green roof not only helps to bring nature to our front door, but also provides many structural and environmental benefits. Because roofs have a high albedo, meaning they absorb UV rays instead of reflecting them, they absorb a lot of heat, and therefore more energy is required to cool the building. When a green roof is in place, the vegetation acts as a natural protector against the heat. This helps to reduce the amount of energy needed to cool the building because it is already being cooled by the roof. In addition to the temperature regulating benefits, the green roof also has a significantly lower replacement rate of the roofing materials. The regular roofing material undergoes a lot of stress and are in need of replacement about every 15 years. But when the vegetation is placed on top, it reduces a lot of that strain, giving it the ability to last for 80 to 100 years. Making the switch to a green roof has helped the people of Malmö increase the nature they see around them while also reducing the economic strain of replacing roofs. Additionally, the plant roots suck up the rainwater to reduce runoff, and as the plants use the water, they become a natural water filtration system. Throughout this presentation, we have seen that change is indeed possible and that these changes will actually benefit us. A world without humans would be more than fine. It would probably even be better off. But humans cannot survive without the world. We need clean air, we need better energy sources, and we need to cohabitate with nature as much as possible. We need to use the momentum that we have gained from COVID-19 to push these changes in order to secure a sustainable future. Thank you all so much for listening. I've included a list of my sources here and am now open to taking any questions.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Lauren. You really did a great job. It was a really interesting presentation. It's really interesting to see like the silver linings of what we're dealing with, and hopefully using that to propel us into the future, what we're learning. And we do have a question to kick off. And the question is, are there any countries taking initiatives toward changes as a result of COVID-19?
I haven't heard of any so far, but it's still early. And I know that if a specific country hasn't taken place, a lot of people have started to notice these changes and have started to talk about them. For example, the people in Venice have talked about wanting to keep Venice, the ecosystem there, in the state that it's in right now. So.
Great. I don't see any other questions coming in. I'll give it a few more. Oh, wait. Here we go. Got another question. Cool. In researching your topic, what gave you the most hope for the future?
I guess just while I was researching it, there were a lot of people in the different areas that talked about how excited they were about the changes. And whenever I was researching the animals, there had been people that had never seen certain animals, and they were so excited to see them. And I think that that excitement about what the world could be is the biggest driver for change that we are going to have. So yeah, I guess just seeing people get excited about it was the most hopeful thing for me.
All right, great, thank you. And then the next question is, are there any ways that you suggest we could contribute from home during quarantine?
Probably just cooking at home instead of ordering in takeout. I know it's really tempting, and all of the different companies have been saying, support us, like help and like order takeout and order delivery, but no one's recycling right now. And so all of that just is trash going to the landfill, and it's a lot more sustainable to just cook at home, eat at home.
That's good advice, and I would also add on, tune into all of our Virtual Earth Month events. Like Lauren's presentation here, it's a great time to increase your knowledge about sustainability and just why it's so important. It looks like that is all the questions that we're going to have today. So again, thank you, Lauryn. Great job, and thanks for all of our viewers. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope to see you again tomorrow. Our next sustainability talk with our next student. Jenny is going to be talking to you about economics and what we've seen with economics in COVID-19, and that will be at, I want to say that's at 2 tomorrow as well. So please join us tomorrow. I will be giving a talk at noon if you want to check that out, but the student talks are probably more interesting, so those are the ones you should definitely see. Although I guess we do have a final question I can ask you here. Do you have any insight into how colleges and universities are responding by way of campus policies and programs? That's probably a question more for me, unless you want to try to answer it, Lauryn. Right now, I think most colleges and universities are, still really grappling with transitioning everyone to online learning, and just trying to figure out, refunds and operations and all of those things. So I think that's really been consuming most colleges and universities. So that is where their focus has been. And I like what we've been seeing is, us working with different universities across the state is our offices, sustainability offices, have been trying to make sure that we provide educational content to everyone, still do something for Earth Month, celebrate Earth Day. I think this was a perfect talk to listen to for Earth Day. So I'm not sure what the policies and programs are going to be. I think you'll see some universities responding, but I just don't think we're ready for that yet. So with that, we'll say goodbye. And again, thank you everyone. And once again, thank you, Lauryn. Great job. And if anyone wants to give her a little virtual round of applause like I just did, I'm sure she would appreciate that. So thanks again, everyone. And we will see you. We will see you soon. We'll see you all tomorrow, hopefully. So with that, thank you and take care, everyone.
Bye, thank y'all.